Looking for a destination for your upcoming vacation? Before you decide, keep in mind that some of the world's most beautiful and most unique places are changing. Some might lose their magic, while others might disappear completely. Before you is a list of 10 such destinations. The North Pole. The North Pole is the northernmost point on the Earth. Unlike the South Pole, which is located on the continent of Antarctica, the North Pole is located in the middle of the Arctic Ocean, in a point where the water are almost always frozen. Studies show that in recent decades the ice mass over the area of the North Pole is shrinking and the ice melts. Some estimates show that by 2100 there will be no more ice over the North Pole. This will also lead to the extinction of the polar bears that are having harder and harder time hunting seals as the ice breaks apart. The Everglades, Florida, United States. The Everglades is a big area of tropical wetlands in southern Florida. The Everglades National Park protects only 20% of that amazing area. The park is home to a large diversity of wildlife, 36 threatened or protected species, 350 species of birds, 300 species of fish, 40 species of mammals, and 50 species of reptiles. This entire ecosystem and natural habitat is threatened by the growing pollution created by man. There are growing efforts to save the Everglades, but we recommend you visit it soon. 8. Antarctica. Antarctica is perhaps the most authentic place left in the world, almost untouched by humans. But as human expeditions to the frozen continent become more and more popular, and as the hunting and fishing for the wildlife in the area continues, the remarkable views we see today may be damaged beyond recognition in the future. Columbia Glacier, Alaska. While it's not unique for a glacier to retreat, the Columbia Glacier is retreating faster than most. The Columbia Glacier has been retreating since the early 80s. It retreated 10.5 miles (16.9 kilometers) of length and 1,300 feet (400 meters) of thickness since measurements began. In 2001 the glacier's speed of retreat reached almost 30 meters (98 feet) a day. This rapid retreat appears to be correlated by climate change. 6. Great Barrier Reef, Australia, located off the coast of Queensland. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef system, which is composed of over 2,900 individual reefs and 900 islands. The reef system stretches over 2,600 kilometers, 1,600 miles, and is one of the world's most amazing natural heritage sites. Unfortunately, the Great Barrier Reef is at risk, as recent studies show that in the last 3 decades the number of corals reduces by half due to climate change, pollution, human activity like tourism and construction, and the spreading of the crown of thorns starfish that feed of the corals. '5. Galapagos Islands, Ecuador. The Galapagos Islands is an archipelago of volcanic islands in the Pacific Ocean, 926 kilometers, 575 miles west of Ecuador. The Galapagos Islands and their surrounding waters are a national park and a biological marine reserve. The islands are world famous for their vast number of endemic species and were studied by Charles Darwin, which led to the development of the theory of evolution by natural selection. The delicate archipelago is endangered by poachers, pollution, the rise in seawater temperature that damage the reefs, and the growing tourism to the islands. '4. Havana, Cuba. Don't worry. Cuba isn't going anywhere. Cuba is known for its beautiful beaches and classic capital city of Havana that will make you feel like you're back in the 60s. And for those reasons the small island of Cuba is well worth a visit. But due to latest political shifts in the country and the slowly renewing relations with the United States, Cuba might soon become more modern and Havana might lose that 60s charm and classic cars it is so famous for. No doubt those changes are very positive for the country, but if you always wanted to visit Havana for that old times magic, you should probably hurry up. '3. Venice, Italy. Venice is built on 117 small islands which are separated by canals and linked by bridges. During the 20th century, as a result of water extraction from the aquifer beneath the city, the entire city of Venice began to subside. The rate of the city's sinking has slowed and some claims stopped completely since the water extraction was banned in the 1960s. However, the city is still very much threatened by floods created by high tides, or acqua alta as it's called in Venice. The city is often flooded by the sea and emergency plans to build a series of gates to protect the lagoon are on the way. '2. The Maldives. The Maldives, or the Republic of the Maldives, is an island country in the Indian Ocean. The Maldives consists of 1,102 islands. But don't let this huge number fool you. The Maldives is the smallest Asian country in land area and in population as well. The average ground level of these islands is just 1.5 meters, 4 feet, 11 in, above sea level, which makes it the world's lowest country and puts the very existence of the country in jeopardy due to the rising sea levels. The country is a very popular resort and often rated among the world's most romantic destinations, and the country's beaches are among the best beaches in the world. One. The glacier on the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa and the highest freestanding mountain in the world at a height of 5,895 meters (19,341 feet) above sea level. The mountain is also one of the most famous mountains in the world, probably thanks to the Ernest Hemingway's famous short story The Snows of Kilimanjaro. The summit of the Kilimanjaro features the Furtwängler Glacier, a small remnant of an enormous ice cap which once crowned the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. This ice cap has retreated significantly over the past century and will most likely disappear entirely over the next few years.